2 months ago, when Ford revealed the prices for the Mustang Mach-E here in Australia, they said, "We're happy with the number of pre-orders we have. So the price is the price." When the market saw the price, they couldn't believe it. Now, Ford is backtracking. I believe they don't have as many pre-orders as what they're claiming, and that's why they've now slashed the price of the Mustang Mach-E before it even goes on sale in Australia by thousands and thousands of dollars. However, many people are saying it's not enough. It's still way too expensive, and to be fair, they might have a point. The cheapest Mustang Mach-E is in many ways an inferior car to the Tesla Model Y, and yet it's $8,000 more than Australia's best-selling EV, and in fact, the world's best-selling car. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Ford has slashed the price of the Mustang Mach-E by $7,000, but it's still nearly $8,000 more expensive than a Tesla Model Y. We're talking pretty comparable cars here. The base Tesla Model Y with LFP batteries is $65,400, whereas the base Mustang Mach-E with similar battery pack from CATL, basically the same company's making the batteries for them, that costs $73,000. So Ford was pretty gung-ho. They said there was a lot of demand for the Mach-E when they initially released the prices, but a lot of people said, "We're not believing you, Ford. These prices are very expensive." You can imagine how expensive they were at the time. I mean, it meant the Mustang Mach-E was $15,000 more expensive than an equivalent Tesla Model Y. Yeah, like I said, prices are lower now, but I don't think they're low enough yet. I think Ford it's really a company that makes, a couple of cars, does it really well. I'm talking about the Ford Ranger. The Ford Ranger is very, very much the loved car here in Australia. It sells really well for Ford. Ford, other than the Ford Ranger, maybe the Ford Everest, they don't sell much else, realistically. This new pricing means, though, that the Mustang Mach-E Premium, which is the mid-spec, now sits below the luxury car tax. That's the threshold for fuel-efficient vehicles. And it therefore qualifies for fringe benefits tax exemptions when purchased through a novated lease. Really can be a good strategy here in Australia to get a novated lease. You can save thousands of dollars if you do that with an electric car. So if that's something you're looking at, I've made videos on that in the past. It's definitely worth Googling that and figuring out, or speaking to possibly your financial advisor or to your workplace to see if that's an option for you. Either way, the Mach-E Premium is actually a pretty decent car. Now, people have said, I read a comment just here on some Australian reports. By all reports, the Mustang Mach-E is an excellent car. If that's you that made that comment, I've got to ask you, have you actually read any reports at all? Now, the Mustang Mach-E is not a terrible car, but it's certainly had some issues. There's a fair few YouTubers who have had to take their car in to get fixed constantly, to the point where they had to sell them. They were in and out of the workshop so frequently. Now, you've got to ask yourself the question, the Mustang Mach-E, right? It's very, very affordable in America. It's very affordable. It's really well priced, right? Similar price to the Tesla Model Y. Why aren't they selling? Why do dealerships have them? One dealership apparently has 73 Mustang Mach-E's. One of them has been sitting on the lot for 400 days. Why aren't they selling if they're so good? I honestly think reports from a lot of reviews in America say that there is quite a few issues with them. And that's one of the reasons they're not selling. But, hey, I'm just relaying to you the information that I've read. Despite the price cut to the Mustang Mach-E, it's still going to struggle against some of its rivals, which, to be fair, have better specs. For example, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's a similar price to the Mach-E, but it's unquestionably the better car here. But if you go up to the more expensive vehicle, though, if you go up to the Mustang Mach-E Select, if you go up to the Mustang Mach-E Premium, then you're getting a car that has quite a lot of range in this body style, to 600 kilometers of range for that model. Now looking at the actual models you can get, the Mach-E Select, that's the cheapest model, that's 73,000 Australian dollars. That comes with a 71 kilowatt hour lithium iron phosphate battery pack, and it has a claimed range of 470 kilometers. It's got a single rear mounted electric motor that puts out about 200 kilowatt and 430 newton meters of torque. That will be probably the biggest seller. It's not going to be a big seller, to be honest. None of them will be, but and unless Ford reduces the prices more, but that will probably be the biggest seller out of the 3 models that Ford offer. But the mid-range, in my opinion, is where the value is. The Mustang Mach-E Premium, the mid-range model, that has a more powerful single rear-mounted electric motor that has 216 kilowatt and the same torque, 430 newton meters, but it has a much bigger battery pack. It's a 91 kilowatt hour pack. That gives the Mach-E 600 kilometers of range. And I think for a lot of people, that's really what they want. Not everyone, but a lot of people want that extra range. So that model, I think, will probably sell fairly well too. The next model is the Mach-E GT. That's a direct rival for the Tesla Model Y Performance. That's dual motor, all-wheel drive. It has 358 kilowatts and 860 newton meters of torque. It's clearly also a rival for the Hyundai Ioniq 5N, which is a bit more expensive, about $10,000 more expensive, but it's definitely the better car though, the Hyundai is. Then it's also a rival for the Kia EV6 GT. Anyway, range is much, much lower. It has the same 91 kilowatt hour battery pack, but due to the extra motor, due to having more power, maybe bigger wheels as well, it has a lot less range, 490 kilometers. So pricing, Mach-E Select is 72,990 Australian dollars, down 7,000. The Mach-E Premium is $86,990, down 4,675. And the Mustang Mach-E GT is $105,000, down by $2,700. Like I said, I really don't think Ford has all the pre-orders that they said they did, and I can't really see the Mach-E selling that well. I just think that there's better cars available from multiple manufacturers, which are, in most cases, even more affordable. Thank you for watching.